April 19th, 9:30 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. Alright, so no deliberation in the waiting room. Right into the courtroom. Here we go. Day 2. Court is now in session. All rise for the Honorable Judge Douchebag. Court is back in session for the trial of Damien Tenma. Apollo Justice Defense Team Leader is ready, Your Honor. Athena Sykes, Assistant Defender, is ready too, Your Honor. Je suis prêt. As chipper as ever, I see, and in French no less. And the prosecution? Very well then. By the way, I asked Detective Fulbright to provide sturdier shackles today. There will be no more of your funny business this time, Prosecutor Blackwell. Huh. Now, your opening statement, if you would. I believe it's standard procedure for the prosecution to handle it. Looks like the judge is really bringing it today. He probably realized how Blackwell played him. That was one mean game of Simon Says. Yeah, His Honor has to fight to defend his honor his honor today. Your baldness. It's plain to see that you've always dreamed of delivering an epic opening statement. I have? I don't know if I'd say that. Why, of course you have. I saw it in your eyes the last time you gave the opening statement. That was the look of one who yearns deeply for the thrill of an epic opening statement. For decades now, you've been watching opening statements from your bench. They were the crown jewels of the court, the one thing you could not possess. The crown jewels of the court? Now, at long last, they're within your grasp. How could you possibly refuse? Oh, so you don't mind if I do it then? I'll make a special exception. Just this once. Wow. What a way to fucking goad him into doing it. It's hilarious, actually. Here we go again. Yep, more of Blackwell's mind games. Well, in that case, I think I might go ahead and make the opening statement myself. Ahem. In yesterday's session, we learned the shocking truth that the victim Alderman Rex Cubey was the Amazing Ninetails. We also learned that the Amazing Ninetails was a key figure in the yokai craze and anti-merger protests. It was further revealed that upon learning Rex Cubey's secret identity, Mayor Damien Tenma murdered him. Wow. Yeah, dude was goated by the goat. Got him. The fact that the crime took place in a tightly locked room was also brought to light. And the only people in that tightly locked room were the defendant and victim. The defense proposed the existence of a hypothetical third party. But further investigation revealed no proof of a third party who had escaped the room. Ergo, we must conclude that the evidence against the defendant is, well, conclusive. Did I say something wrong? That was quite astonishing. You've truly outdone yourself this time. Oh, one more thing to boast about to my grandchild. Well, this was not an unexpected turn of events. Now then, it seems the prosecution has called a new witness to testify. The inexplicable yokai evidence left at the scene of the crime. Well, does that not demand some sort of explanation? The feathers and tracks, weren't those left by the mayor while he was possessed? That was but an act to protect his daughter. Oh, yes, of course. I had suspected as much. Oh, did you, though? Wait, did he actually believe the mayor's award-winning performance? He absolutely did, because the judge is a fucking idiot. His daughter was the one who planted the yokai evidence. Ergo, the true identity of the yokai in the manor was the manor's maid, Jinxie Tenma.
Objection!
Nah, bitch. The prosecution is engaging in mere conjecture? Huh. Would you care for some witness testimony, then? For I am ready to prove that the little scamp is the one behind the Tenmataro farce. Witness testimony? I'll bet he means Filch and that creep LaBelle. Very well, then. Bailiff, would you bring in the first witness? Here we go. It's time to start poking some holes in some lies, baby. Here we go. Mr. Filch, you made quite the hasty exit yesterday. See that it doesn't happen again today.
Been known for my hasty retreat since I was a kid. Bit of a trademark of mine.
Indeed, you managed to give a total of 5 bailiffs the slip. The slip.
Like those amateurs could ever nab me. Yaps!
Perhaps we should shackle you by the neck. That would keep you in place.
Yaps, no, please. I'm liable to rip my own head off if I start running.
An improvement. Your statement now.
Yes, sir, Mr. Blackhead, sir. He may beat a hasty retreat, but there's no escaping Prosecutor Blackwell. Yeah, Blackwell doesn't strike me as the give up easy type. Now then, Mr. Filch, your testimony, please. Specifically, the true nature of the yokai you saw in the manor shortly after the crime. Alright, here we go. Let's hear what let's hear this load of bullpucky. Yokai is Jinxie. Tenmataro's really that little maid gal. Ain't no doubt about it. I mean, the Tenmataro I saw was just a little thing about her size. But the little run had a big old staff. I seen it when she came into the foyer. Bet you she stole from that forbidden chamber after stumbling on the crime scene. She was going to use it to wallop me on account of my fierce reputation. I just know it.
Huh. Okay. So, Tenmataro was short in stature. And that's because it was Miss Jinxie Tenma all along?
You betcha. Besides, all the rest of the manor were way taller than her.
Feigning height is but an easy thing. But a big ox like the defendant could never pass for short. Okay. I see what you're saying. But we have to confirm that this bitch was short. Anyway. What if the Tenmataro impersonator was walking on their knees? Wow.
Weren't no knee walking. I seen it for myself.
Then perhaps that yokai really was Miss Tenma after all. All monsters are not but tricks, either of the mind or the cheap parlor variety. So you're saying she created an illusion like one of those magical eye things? Precisely. Human senses are easily deceived. Take the fellow in the cell next to me. Each night, he cries and screams about some ghost he thinks he sees. But in truth, it was simply the janitor. Ho ho ho! Prosecutor Blackwell just gave up the ghost, literally. The janitor's deathly complexion and all-white attire are, no doubt, partially to blame. That, and the fact that he constantly mutters about taking vengeance for this and that.
This game would be better if Jim Carrey from Liar Liar was here. Oh my god. Can you imagine a Jim Carrey lawyer character? Oh my god. That shit would be fucking awesome. I wish they had him now. Now I wish that was the case, FML. A fucking cameo appearance by Jim Carrey's Liar Liar character would be amazing. That actually sounds like a real ghost to me. Wow.
The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Alright, like I said, time to poke holes in this bitch. Here we go. I gotta read all these again and find out there's something I have evidence for, obviously. But we're gonna press everything. Tenmataro's really that little gal, no doubt about it, huh? No doubt about it, he says. Mr. Filch, you and Mr. LaBelle mentioned something about a practice yesterday. Do you not deny this so-called lesson was about what you were supposed to say in court? No, you got it all wrong. Then could you tell the court exactly what sort of lesson it was? Oh, it was, what was it again? Yaps! Ah, now I remember. Math, you know, numbers and stuff. He's completely under Blackwell's control, too. Anyway, that Tenmataro was that little maid gal, so what's the difference? Well, the difference is if you're a fucking liar. That's the difference. Anyway, press him about this shit. I take it you got a good look at how tall Tenmataro impersonator was? You betcha. I got a habit of sizing people up. I could even give you a primer on how to pull it off. All under the table, Natch. I got a knack for figuring out where people's pockets are and how much money they have. I size them real good before I leave them with their valuables. Oh my god. He just admitted to being a pickpocket right here in court.
Does the witness hold that this Tenmataro entered the foyer?
Darn right I do. Okay, well, what a liar. It's kind of funny to remember that this is the franchise where ghosts are casually confirmed to exist, but only when they're relevant. I kind of agree. Like, earlier in the series, you know, the first 3 games, really, the whole possession and, like, spirit medium stuff is real. Like, it's legit. You know, the spirit medium thing with, like, Mia helping us out, even though she was dead, was a real thing. And then, obviously, there was even more of that in the 2nd and 3rd games. Especially the 3rd game. My goodness, there was a lot of that in the 3rd game. Anyway, so big old staff and you've seen it. Alright, let's go ahead and press that one too. Well, you're not going to brush it all off by claiming the perp was short. Hey, must have hit a raw nerve because you ain't that tall yourself there, boy. Look who's talking, mister. I've got to stand on a box just to testify. I was just going to say, he's literally standing on a box right now. That's hilarious. It's like the little kid from the fucking first game, right? Yeah, the first game. Anyway, Mr. Filch, correct me if I'm wrong. But didn't you say that Tenmataro you saw had a staff? Cross my heart and hope to die. I know, because it went a jingle, jangle, jangle. And where do you suppose that staff came from? The staff, you say? Well, bet you she stole it from the Forbidden Chamber after stumbling on the crime scene. Okay. Well, this is part I'm like, how could you even know about this? I suppose you mean to say that Jinxie Tenma entered the Forbidden Chamber to get one. Well, I ain't never seen a staff like that in the manor. So it had to be the Forbidden Chamber. Oh, really? The stench of a bell is thick in the air today. Jinxie entered the Forbidden Chamber after the incident. Then she took the staff and tried to cover up her actions by pretending to be Tenmataro. I guess that's what Filter's trying to say. Could Jinxie have even entered the Forbidden Chamber if she wanted to?
There is one thing I was wondering about. Why did that yokai have a staff in the first place?
Hey, well, I got my hunches about that. Indeed. She was going to use it to wallop me on account of my fierce reputation, I just know it. Wait, did he say that before? Anyway. Sister Bikini from the 3rd game as well, who was made short just because they were running out of memory on the cartridge. Is that a hilarious joke? But yeah, Sister Bikini was the fat sister, you know, nun lady from the 3rd game. I remember her. She was short too. Alright, well anyway, let's press this last one. Wallop you? And why would the so-called yokai want to do that? That little May gal never did like me. She always hightails that when I come round, or she sticks these weird papers on my noggin. She probably thinks of him as the dreaded Tanuki monster of QB Manor or something. We need to prove that Jinxie isn't Tenmataro. But I have no idea how we're going to do that. All we have to do is prove that it was impossible for Jinxie to turn into Tenmataro. And that might be easier than you think. Really? Now's our chance. Our chance to expose the real Tenmataro for all to see. Alright, so I'm thinking that our spot of questionableness is this one. Because how would he know about the Forbidden Chamber? How would she have been able to get in the Forbidden Chamber? This whole statement is very contradictory. I just have to figure out which piece of evidence to really, like, throw at him for this one, you know? And it might just be the key itself, because how would she get in there, you know? There's only one key and the mayor had it swallowed, you know? And there's no other reason to believe any of these other pieces of evidence have anything to do with anything. Also, the statue has traces of blood. It's apparently wrapped in a large cloth. No fingerprints to be lifted. Okay, so nothing new there, but the picture is different now that we have the cup part. Anyway, I think our only piece of evidence that has anything to do with this is the key. So I'm just going to go with that. Objection! Music stopped. That's good. It would seem that Tenmataro was, in fact, not this innocent little girl. Huh? How you figure that? You claim the Tenmataro you saw had one of those staves from the Forbidden Chamber. But it would have been impossible for Ms. Tenma to get a hold of one.
Care to elaborate, Mr. Justice?
The mayor swallowed this key shortly after the murder. He wanted to keep the killer out of the Forbidden Chamber. What's this? This key was deep in the mayor's stomach when Ms. Tenma discovered the crime scene. So you see, it would have been impossible for her to get into the Forbidden Chamber. In short, the Tenmataro seen holding that staff could not have been Jinxie Tenma! So anyway, you had to double check to be sure, but the sister bikini thing is a real piece of trivia. Really? They made her short to save room on the cartridge? But it's literally just like a rendering of a character, like as a picture. It's not like... That's a very odd thing. That you had to save space by not drawing more of her. That's a weird one. But okay, I believe it. Anyway, get fucked, Blackwill! Ah!
What?
Yeah, get fucked, all of you. Although I'm sure he's gonna come back with some bullshit right now.
But then who does the defendant believe was impersonating Tenmataro?
Our Tenmataro impersonator is none other than Mr. Tenma's aide, Such accusations beg evidence. Aside from his ghastly appearance, can you prove he is the yokai we seek? Yes, in fact I can.
Very well. Let's see where the defense is going with this. Mr. Justice, please show us proof as to the true identity of Tenmataro's impersonator.
Please show us proof as to the true identity? I mean, are we... I can't imagine we're already throwing this out. Are we really? I mean, all those extra pixels add up, apparently. Same reason Flashback Gumshoe was just a palette swap. Oh, yeah? That's funny. Alright, anyway, I don't know if I have another piece of evidence that says anything of the sort that implicates LaBelle in any other way. The only thing I have that implicates LaBelle at all is this, I think. I do recall that they're originally GBA games. I do. So it makes sense to have to save space on a cartridge back then. But it's still odd that those games were big enough to have to take up a whole cartridge. They didn't feel like they were that huge of games. But the graphics were nice on them for GBA, so maybe they take up more space than I give them credit for. I don't know. I never had to make a game that went on a cartridge, so I have no idea. Point is, I'm going to go with this because I have no other thing that ties him to anything else. Like, this is the only thing we have that ties him to any of it. So, here we go.
Take that!
Hand cream. We found this hand cream in the Forbidden Chamber. And we know that whoever was Tenmataro took one of the staves out of there. In short, I believe whoever this hand cream belongs to is the yokai impersonator we're looking for.
But Mr. Justice, how do you propose to identify the hand cream's owner?
I'm glad you asked, Your Honor. The defense requests a fingerprint analysis on this piece of evidence. It might tell us who it belongs to.
Interesting. So you expect to find the yokai's prints there? Very well. I hereby call a short recess while we wait for the fingerprint results.
No need for that, Your Boldness. We have the prints of everyone at the manor that day.
You called, Prosecutor Blackwill.
That was the wrong voice, but it was close enough. It was more the judge's voice I just did. Could anyone be more whipped? Fulbright. Analyze this for prints. You have 3 minutes.
Your wish is my command. Very well, then I guess we'll just wait right here.
No recess needed. It would seem the fingerprint analysis is complete.
What do the results show?
What in the world? They're Florent LaBelle's prints, aren't they? This is absurd. Wait, what? Whose fingerprints are they going to be? Prosecutor Blackwell? I'm not going to like this, am I?
Don't tell me. They're Tenmataro's prints.
Fingerprint analysis is revealed that the prints belong to... Phineas Filch. Well, if it wasn't LaBelle, he's going to try and pin this on Filch as like a backup patsy. But Filch will turn on him so fast. Or they work together. There's still a chance they worked together. I still say there was a chance they worked together. But the fact that he's lying and very terrible at it and scared of the other guy probably means that he's only lying for him because he's scared of him. But once he finds out he's trying to get this shit pinned on him, ooh.
Objection!
Wait, what? What? Then Mr. LaBelle wasn't the one who entered the Forbidden Chamber?
Objection!
What the fuck? Objection! What the fuck?
Why, you tricksy little tanuki. Explain yourself now.
I just saw Trixie and I wanted to do the fucking Gollum voice. But anyway, why, you tricksy little tanuki. Explain yourself now. Sure, them prints are mine. I mean, I did pilfer that hand cream for Mr. LaBelle after all. So you're the one who entered the Forbidden Chamber? So what if I did? You got a problem with it? Wow. Yaps! You fool of a tanuki. Wow. Professor Blackwell, do you need a lozenge? My bad. I went with the wrong voice.
Order! Order! Mr. Justice, care to explain what this could mean?
Excellent question. The fact that Mr. Filch was in the Forbidden Chamber... Wait a second. Does this mean the Tenmataro holding that staff was Phineas Filch? Yaps! Another cat out of the bag!
Mr. Filch is Tenmataro?
Wow. So they really work together? Is this really what we're about to learn? I don't understand. Does this mean Mr. Filch is the real killer?
The witness will explain himself this instant.
Begging your pardon, your honorship, but I was just doing what the alderman told me. He wanted me to be Tenmataro on the village exorcism trial ritual. Oh, you mean that event at the Ninetales Festival? Ninetales Vale Festival? So that was you inside the Tenmataro costume. Yep, and after the event I went to watch the pro wrestling program. But it bored me to tears on account of the wrestlers being complete jobbers. So he didn't actually watch the entire wrestling match. That's when I looked at Tenmataro costume and got a great idea. Nobody can tell it's me when I'm wearing it. Because of them superstitions, no matter what I do, the villagers won't say a word. The villagers, it should have said.
In other words, you use the superstitions to effectively render yourself invisible.
Why did you want to enter the Forbidden Chamber in the first place? Because of the treasure there. Thought that was my big chance to sneak in on in and nab it. Treasure? Only that it's the greatest get rich quick chance in the universe. Get rich quick chance. Grandpappy told me all about it. Said there's an amazing treasure in there. He went in there not knowing his grandfather had already pilfered it? Guess that's one tale that didn't get passed down from grandpappy to grandson. Wait, how exactly did you get into the Forbidden Chamber? There was a meeting in the Fox Chamber that day. Plus the mayor swallowed the only key that could open the Forbidden Chamber's door. You couldn't have possibly gotten in. I could through the air vent in the foyer. Oh my god, well, that came back to bite us real quick, didn't it? The vents left of the alderman's picture, and I went on in and made a nice little hole. Used that to get in the air duct that leads to the Forbidden Chamber, I did. Huh. Okay. You what? But how's that even possible? Wait a sec. Remember that air vent in the Forbidden Chamber? So Mr. Filch found a way to get into that air duct. And that's how he got from the foyer vent to the Forbidden Chamber vent? I guess so.
So Tenmataro was nothing more than a cat burglar, or rather a tanuki burglar. And we're back to being without anyone to charge for Alderman's murder.
Looks like our so-called yokai is nothing more than one big troublemaker. Tell me, Mr. Filch, what did you do after fleeing to the foyer? I got out of that costume right quick. Would have just caused trouble at that point. And where's that costume now? Heck if I know. And it ain't my fault if you never find it. The police searched every nook and cranny. No yokai costume was left in that manor. What if it was tossed outside the manor? Ah! We already know it was. Yeah, there you go. No way! But maybe, just maybe.
The defense seems to have hit upon an idea. Well, go on, Mr. Justice.
Okay, here's what I think. Mr. Filch, did you get rid of the costume here? The window, bro. The window. It's so obvious.
Take that!
Did you toss it out the window? Because that would certainly explain why it didn't turn up inside the manor. You think I tossed it out the window? That costume cost me a pretty penny. So why would I go do something like that? I can think of a few reasons. Any bright ideas, Apollo? Well, assuming the costume really was tossed out from the window, the next question would be, what happened to it after that? And if I'm right, I might have just the thing to prove what happened to the costume. Phineas Filch, I have just the evidence for you. You do? This evidence proves you got rid of your Tenmataro costume through the window. It's the fucking picture that you just showed a second ago. This one.
Take that!
Ah, that's Tenmataro flying through the sky.
And just how does this prove that Mr. Filch threw his costume out the window?
It's quite simple. That's not Tenmataro in the photo. It's the costume Mr. Filch threw out. Ah, that's crazy talk. You ain't serious, are you? There's a steep cliff right outside the foyer window, meaning the manor is pretty high up. The costume flew through the air after it was tossed out. That's when the photo was taken. In other words, the photo of Tenmataro really was a flight of fancy.
What?
Yaks! Wow, this is turning on this dude so fast.
Oh my, so there really never was a yokai.
Yeah, no shit. I can't keep any of them cats bagged. Can I still file a claim for a lost costume? This more than proves the defense's position. Jinxie Tenma had nothing to do with staging the yokai sighting.
Care to raise any objections, Prosecutor Blackwell?
None whatsoever. I'll deal with that tricksy Tanuki after I've dealt with this case. Damn, okay. Well then. We did it! Good going! Now all we have to do is make Florent LaBelle take the stand.
Objection!
Ah, goddammit. Sheathing the sword a bit early, are we not? Huh? Nothing has been proven beyond a doubt. Take this tricksy little Tanuki, for instance. How do you suppose he was able to exit the Forbidden Chamber? Probably the same way he got in? Through the chamber's air vent. And what of the feathers and tracks at the scene of the crime? They would suggest that the Tanuki exited through the chamber door, not the air vent.
Objection!
But the Forbidden Chamber doesn't open from the inside. So what you're saying makes no sense. Right? Huh. Someone on the outside opened the door for you. Isn't that right? Yep, that's right, Mr. Blackjack. The door suddenly sprung right open.
Hold it!
Sprung right open? Who was on the other side? Didn't get a good look at it on account of the sudden glare.
Like how the reflection from my head blinds fellow moviegoers emerging from the dark.
Wow. Just too shiny, Mr. Clean over here. That's when I snatched that staff and made my daring escape. And then that little maid gal spotted me as I hightailed it down the hall. That means the Forbidden Chamber wasn't opened until after the crime was discovered. Wow. That changes so many things, but alright. But wait. We still don't know who opened it. Maybe there really was a third person in the Fox Chamber.
Objection!
Oh boy, here we go again. Well, you little Tanuki. When the Forbidden Chamber opened, did you see the accused passed out there? Nope. The only one there was the alderman, and he was dead as a doornail. Huh. If the accused wasn't there, what do you suppose he was up to? Uh-oh. I don't like where this is going.
Ah, don't tell me.
Plainly, the only one who could have opened the Forbidden Chamber was the accused, Damien Tenma. Ah, shit, dude. Alright. Anyway. Oh, goddammit, Adina. Wait a second. Wait 1 second, because Berserker's got to go. Sorry you got to go because of work, Berserker, but thank you for hanging out for as long as you could. We'll catch you later. Hopefully you can catch the VOD later so you can catch up on the playthrough. You have a good one, dude. Anyway, wait a second here. There had to be somebody else besides Mayor Tenma there.
Really? And who might that be?
Oh, well, that would be...
Objection!
It seems our feisty little lass has forgotten the most important thing. Evidence. I didn't forget. I was just testing your attention to details.
Ms. Sykes, you can't prove your point without proof of some sort. It's a proven fact. Prove it!
Sorry, I guess I put my foot in my mouth again. Nah, Athena, we're definitely onto something here. We are? Think about it. If Filch was stuck inside the Forbidden Chamber, one of the alibis we heard would no longer hold any water. The defense would like to call a new witness to the stand. Someone who knew Mr. Filch was stuck in the Forbidden Chamber. And by virtue of knowing this, has an alibi that no longer adds up. Not that insufferable.
Very well. The court will hear what Mr. Justice has to say. Whose alibi no longer stands up? There's only one other person who has an alibi.
Unless we're talking about him. No. The only other person who had an alibi is this fuckface. He was with Filch at the time of the murder. That's the alibi. It's this douchebag.
Take that!
Why, that's the defendant's aide, Florent Labelle. Didn't he claim to be in the foyer at the time of the crime?
True, but in his alibi he also claimed Mr. Filch was in the foyer too. However, as we all know now, Mr. Filch was not there with Mr. Labelle at that time. In short, Mr. Labelle's alibi has disappeared. Florent Labelle's alibi was one big lie. Isn't that right, Mr. Filch? I reckon there ain't no keeping that cat in the bag here, neither. It was all Mr. Labelle's idea. He told me he'd button his lip about me breaking into the Forbidden Chamber, and in return he said we'd vouch for each other as alibi.
Shame on you, Mr. Filch. Perjury is a serious crime, you know.
Ah, shucks. Mercy, your honorship, mercy. Ah! I also assert that the person who opened the Forbidden Chamber for Mr. Filch was none other than Florent Labelle. After all, his alibi has just been proven to be a complete fabrication.
I see. We will take a 20-minute recess, after which time we will see what Mr. Labelle has to say for himself.
Yes, we're finally going to drag that slippery snake onto the stand. It's time, y'all.
In the meantime, the prosecution will question Mr. Labelle about these new allegations.
Hell yeah, brother. We got this. April 19th, 10:25 a.m. District Court. Defendant, lobby number 3. We did it, Apollo! We finally dragged Mr. Labelle into court. Yeah. Hey, why the long face? I can't help but feel I'm missing something important. Plus, Prosecutor Blackwell's bound to mount a counterattack. You really are a worrywart, aren't you? It'll be fine. That mystery figure who opened the Forbidden Chamber for Mr. Filch had to have been Florent Labelle. I know, but that's not what's bugging me. I wish I could put my finger on it, though. But it's like, how about the whole key thing and the person and the fact that Jinxie came in and saw her dad? Like, there's so many little details that are still fucked up. But I think the hairspray thing is going to come into effect. I'm going to go out and say it now before we get there. I think Labelle impersonated the dad and talked to Jinxie as her dad. Meanwhile, he had the body hidden somewhere off to the side, maybe behind the screen or something. I'm not sure 100% where the body of her dad would have been during that time frame. But that's what I'm going with. And also, why he had the key swallowed bothers me as well. I'm not 100% sure why he had swallowed the key. Did he do it himself, his own volition? Does he just not remember doing it? Did LaBelle make him do it while he was knocked out? Like, I don't know. I don't know how the key got in him. That's what I'm thinking. But anyway. At any rate, the big showdown with Mr. LaBelle is up next, so chin up, Apollo. I'm excited, actually. The big showdown is here, y'all. Which means the end of the case is probably nigh. Here we go. April 19th, 11 a.m., District Court, number 4.
Court is back in session. Our next witness is...
Oh, God. Here we go.
Yes, I'm acting on behalf of the mayor in this very important matter. It seems the witness is predisposed at the moment. Ha 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 ha! Surely you jest. I will hold you to your promise, remember that. Oh, my deepest apologies. This is Florent LaBelle, personal aide to Mayor Tenma, or should I say, the accused.
Ouch. Like the poor mayor hasn't suffered enough.
Well, what business do you have with me? I'm a very busy man, so let's make this as brief as possible.
Your baldness.
Ah, right. Mr. Filch's testimony has revealed a hole in your alibi, sir. And for this reason, you are suspected of having some sort of connection with the case at hand. To think I'd be associated with this entirely lurid affair. Well, I'm not. So may I go now? I have very important matters to attend to.
Wow. I'm not. Okay, are we done here? I'm not. I said no, so we're good here, right? I said no.
Objection!
I don't think so, Mr. LaBelle. Do you realize what a serious crime you've committed?
Witness, you are being accused of perjury. This is your chance to clear the air. Fine. The truth is, I faked my alibi for a very good reason. The mayor was obviously the killer, so I created a fake alibi to confuse the matter. You see, as his personal aide, I felt I had to protect him. Sorry.
Also, his hair is green today. It just hit me. He's looking very jokery today with that green hair. That's probably on purpose. You think this is funny? Without your alibi, you're a suspect too, bitch. What were you really doing at the time of the crime?
Peasant, how dare you accuse me of one of the beautiful people of Wing?
Stop stalling and tell the court what you were really doing at the time of the crime.
Silence!
Uh-oh.
Silence!
Damn. What the fuck do you want? Enough jabbering. Swords have been drawn. The time for talk is past. Swords? What swords? This is a duel to the death. The fate of the accused rests in our hands. Begone, ye of cowardly heart. The battlefield hath no place for ye. Wow, he broke the fucking cuffs again. Again?
Oh my. Spare me, please!
He broke the cuffs again, bro. Can we double cuff him? Double, triple cuff? So much for sturdier shackles. Oh god, here we go. Ah! Those chains hindered my vow that heads would roll this day. This gives keeping your head on in court a whole new meaning. Will the witness please deliver the accused death knell? You know of what I speak.
Most certainly. His goose is already cooked. Time to stick a fork in him.
Whatever he has to say can't be good.
As I told Prosecutor Blackwell during the recess, I rushed right over to the Fox chamber when I heard little Jinxie scream.
What?
Then, drumroll please, I saw Mayor Tenma opening the forbidden chamber doors.
But there you have it. The mystery man who opened the chamber door, as witnessed by one Phineas Filch. It was the accused. There was never any third party.
Oh, and that's not all. I heard something quite startling there at the scene of the crime.
Startling sounds bad.
The mayor, who was barely conscious, muttered this. Forgive me, Jinxie, I killed the alderman. That's right, the mayor actually confessed to the murder right then and there.
See, I told you it was him. He's the one that fucking impersonated the dad. I told you. Fucking told you.
Anyway, he confessed?
Dude looks a lot whiter as well. He's looking a lot more like Joker than usual, eh?
Order! Order in the court! This is quite conclusive testimony if it stands.
Just so. And quite astonishing, I might add. I only learned of this fact during the recess.
I just love surprises, don't you? That's why I saved the best for last. Consider it a gift from me to you.
No way. I don't believe Mr. LaBelle heard the mayor confess.
But is this really true? Did Mayor Tenma really confess?
It is indeed. During that last recess, I confirmed it with the mayor's daughter. It would seem Mayor Tenma actually did confess.
That testimony is quite favorable to the prosecution's...
Oh, here we go again.
This is LaBelle. Yes, I called earlier about the party reservations. That's right, and I'll be calling my little shindig Mayor Tenma's conviction gala. A splendid time is guaranteed for all but the mayor and his defense. Well, as it seems, our witness is a very busy man. Let's get right to his testimony. Mr. LaBelle, please tell us what you saw when you came upon the scene of the crime.
Alright, time to look for some holes to poke. Here we go. What LaBelle saw.
I was in the hallway hiding in the shadows. That's when I heard the confession.
Okay.
Upon learning of her father's crime, little Jinxie fled without ever noticing me. Immediately after that, the mayor came to and stood up and opened the forbidden chamber. As I ran in terror, the demon emerged from his prison. In shock, I fled down the hallway to the right, to the one with the phone at the end.
That contradicts with Jinxie's testimony, though, because Jinxie is the one that was at the phone and saw him run that way. The timing doesn't work out. Anyway,
I must say, this is a shocking revelation. Quite unexpected. To think the defendant actually confessed then and there to his crime. Perhaps the guilt was too much to bear, so he confided in his daughter. You do realize you should not have withheld such crucial testimony from the court. Once again, sorry.
We're sorry. Sorry.
It's just I feared being accused if I mentioned coming upon that most unpleasant scene.
Ah, why did the mayor's confession have to be brought up by this guy? We better do something before the judge declares the mayor guilty. Huh. As a death row inmate once told me in years gone by, there is a time to fight and a time to yield. A time to live and a time to die.
Ah!
He's laying it on real thick now.
The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Alright, here we go, y'all. Press everything. Learn details. Figure out where the contradiction really is here. So, he was in the hallway hiding. But anyway, the part where he went past the phone area, and then, yeah, that contradicts with her testimony. I know we have her testimony. Let me just see it real quick. After leaving the scene and calling the police, they passed each other on a bend in the hallway as he made for the foyer. He was carrying a staff-like implement because there was no one else in the hall. This contradicts his little statement. We'll go with that when we get there. But let's press everything until then.
Hold it!
You claim that the mayor confessed to his daughter. Are you sure about that? You sure about that?
Peasant, you dare ask such a question if you truly understood. True beauty is never wrong.
It's not?
No, beauty is carved deep in the DNA. That means I'm programmed to always be right, even when I'm wrong.
I'm not following.
These exquisite ears like flowers abloom, these eyes that shine like pearls, this hair like the finest silk, nothing can corrupt the truth they hold.
Right.
The witness will hurry up and explain this truth of his. Specifically, what did Jinxie Tenma do upon hearing the confession?
Alright, so nothing helpful there. As expected. Upon learning of the cause of crime, Jinxie fled without ever noticing me. Press that. How did Ms. Tenma appear to you?
Oh, the poor little thing seems positively heartbroken, all teary-eyed and whatnot. I couldn't help but shed a few tears myself after seeing her like that.
He actually sympathized with Jinxie? Seems like an overly human emotion for him. Yeah, because he's the only real monster we've seen so far, in looks and in character.
The next thing I did was check my face in the mirror.
Checked your face? Why?
To behold the beauty that is my sadness, why else?
Apollo, I'm starting to lose all faith in humanity. I know the feeling, but hang in there. At least keep faith in our client.
Let's keep this moving, shall we? What happened next?
Nothing really helpful there either, but that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting the next one after this, not this one. This also feels sus, but I don't know if I have any evidence for this one.
Hold it!
He opened the forbidden chamber? But why would he do that?
Who knows? Maybe he wanted to free the demon Tenmataro.
Objection!
The courtroom is no place for fairy tales. Remember, you are under oath.
Hello, LaBelle speaking. Yes, I will certainly explore the matter. Toodles. Now, where were we again?
You were going to tell us the real reason why the mayor opened the forbidden chamber.
Oh yes, of course. Hello, this is LaBelle. Good one, sir. You're an absolute riot. Okay, bye. You were saying?
Never mind. This is a waste of time. He's just going to tell more lies.
The witness will focus on his testimony, not his phone calls. Now tell the court what you did after you saw the mayor open the forbidden chamber. Well, after that
is this part. This is the part that we're going to have some bone to pick with. But let's go ahead and press it for now. What was Mr. Filch like at the time?
He was shouting, "I can't see, I can't see. It's the curse of Tenmataro." Then he took off running like a madman.
He must have been blinded by the sudden light flooding in.
Wrong.
What?
He set eyes upon me, and was thus blinded by my radiant beauty.
Wow. So it was the curse of Florent LaBelle rather than Tenmataro?
Yes, I'm afraid such beauty can be a curse. It's almost criminal.
The only thing criminal here is your ceaseless jabbering. Now get on with your testimony.
Oh, forgive me, your darkness. Let's see. Oh yes, I fled for dear life from Tenmataro, and...
In shock, I fled down the hallway to my right, to the one with the phone at the end. This is the one that's actually a problem more than anything else. But yeah, press it. So after you fled into the hallway, with the phone at the end, Tenmataro ran off toward the foyer.
Precisely.
Notice any inconsistencies, Apollo? Well, Jinxie also saw Tenmataro, right? She did. She said they passed each other in the hall after she made that call to the police. Well, if LaBelle had fled down the hall where the phone is, Jinxie would have seen him when she was returning from making her call. Oh, right. And if she saw him, she definitely would have asked him for help. Right. It just doesn't make any sense. Time to review the evidence. If we don't find some way to poke a hole in his testimony, Mayor Tenma's as good as guilty. This is bad. Very bad. We need to find an inconsistency. A mistake? Some kind of conflict? It's all over if we can't find a flaw in the prosecution's case. Alright, so it's so obvious to me. We have two testimonies that clash, right? So now they're going to have to clarify that and try to trick me with some other bullshit. So let's just get to that last statement and present her testimony, because clearly they contradict each other. Jinxie's statement. Let's just compare them. Here you go. Here you go. Huh. Hit those fists down, boy. Florent LaBelle, you're lying about having witnessed these events from the hallway.
What on earth do you mean? Yes, care to fill in the rest of us, Mr. Justice?
If Mr. LaBelle had really fled down into the hall with the phone in it, he would have crossed paths with Ms. Tenma.
What's this?
After she discovered the crime scene, she immediately went to call the police. Then after making her call, she went back to the main hallway, whereupon she encountered the demon, or yokai, or whatever you want to call it. As for me, I call it Phineas Filch in a Tenma Taro costume. The encounter happened right here, where the hallways meet. As for Mr. LaBelle, if he had fled here, feigning escape from the yokai imposter...
Why, yes, the two would have crossed paths.
Indeed. Right, except Miss Tenma told us that there was no one else in the hall. In short, Miss Tenma did not see you in the hall because you were never really there. Aw, shit! Here we go.
My eyes! My beautiful eyes!
Ha! Not such a fabulous scent now, is it, bitch? Hell yeah.
But, Mr. Justice, the witness also stated that he heard the mayor confess. If he was lying about hearing the confession from the hall, then where was he when he heard it?
Inside the Fox Chamber? Where else?
But isn't that within the very crime scene?
It is, Your Honor. And that means he's not really a witness. Rather, he's the third party I've been alleging this whole time. Here we go.
What? You think I'm the killer? How dare you?
Silence.
Oh, God.
Foolish fop. A true man knows when he is beaten. A shield of lies comes to naught before a foe with the sword of truth bared.
Prosecutor Blackwell, what are you? I thought we were on the same side.
You're mistaken. There are no sides here, save for my cold, steely edge of judgment. You are alone upon this battlefield, with naught but your lies and sickly sweet perfume.
Whoa, what just happened? Blackwell's really tearing into him.
You heard the mayor's confession from the inside, did you not, you deviant dandy? For the sole location from which you could have seen and heard the mayor and the Tanuki. Without either of them noticing you were right there, in the Fox Chamber.
Oh my! So that's how it's going to be. Fine, I'll come clean then.
Seriously? You admit to being there in the Fox Chamber?
I do. I did enter the room after the murder, but I was afraid of being falsely accused, so I lied about it. I feel terrible about lying like that, but it's a verbal cologne I use to protect myself.
You'd better explain yourself, Mr. LaBelle.
Yes, of course. I was just about to get to that. The witness is skating on thin ice. I'll remind you that perjury is a very serious crime. Now, let's hear your testimony again, this time without your perfume of lies.
Alright, gonna poke some more holes in this bitch, and we're gonna get him on the ropes here quick. In the Fox Chamber, here we go.
I did enter the Fox Chamber after the murder, but I didn't enter until after Jinxie had heard the confession and left. I heard the mayor groan and hid behind the folding screen there. What I saw there up close, it was absolutely horrifying. So you see, I was there, but merely watching from behind the screen.
Okay.
From behind the screen? Why, yes, I believe you would have be spotted if you were there.
Just so. He could see everything without being spotted by the victim or that Tanuki Filch. Suffice to say, he was a mere witness to the events rather than an actual third party.
This guy's as slippery as an eel. And stupider than and dumber than a box of rocks, more than anything. Anyway, Apollo, you think he's telling the truth? Well, he was in the Fox Chamber, so at least that much must be true.
The defense may cross-examine our slightly voyeuristic witness.
Slightly? Slightly? Fuck this guy, though, for real. Anyway, in the Fox Chamber. Alright. He entered the Fox Chamber after the murder. That already seems questionable right away, but let's press it. Why in the world would you enter that grisly crime scene?
Why? Because I was worried sick. Mayor Tenma's suit, It what? It was designed personally by me. I was worried my work of art might get blood on it.
This man clearly has his priorities in order.
Okay. Oh, okay, let's get this over with, shall we? Now, where was I? Oh, yes, so I entered the Fox Chamber almost without thinking.
Okay. But I didn't enter until after Jinxie had heard the confession and left. Okay.
Hold it!
Why didn't you enter right away?
And ruin my designer shoes?
Your shoes?
Even now, just thinking about getting blood on my fabulous footwear, it sends chills down my spine. That's why I hesitated.
That's terrible. A man was dying and another injured, and you're worried about your fucking shoes?
Silence!
Need I remind you, this is a court of law. We are not teaching morality here. We have schools of etiquette and the like for such trivial pursuits.
Yeah.
Now, you listen to me, you deceptive dandy. Get to the point and be quick about it.
Yes, well, I was there in the Fox Chamber, but...
I heard the mayor groan and hid behind the folding screen there. Okay, press that. Wait a second. Why did you hide yourself?
Oh my, so you do understand.
I do?
By hiding, I was concealing my fabulous beauty, which, for the sake of the universe, is something I should never ever do. That's what you were thinking, right?
Sensing a black hole of egocentricity forming around the witness stand.
We can deliberate his mental process another time. Get on with it. Get on with the testimony, now.
Well, regarding the murder scene...
What I saw there up close, it was absolutely horrifying. Okay. This one's not going to yield anything useful. Could you describe the crime scene in a bit more detail?
And what exactly would you like details about?
Well, what I'd like to ask you about is... Okay, maybe this will matter. I mean, that first one seems pretty important to ask about, because were there feathers and tracks already there or not? I would assume when he walked in, he didn't see them, and then after the bird dude ran out, there would have been there after the facts. So let's see what he says. What do you remember about the yokai feathers and tracks?
They resulted when Tenmataro exited the Forbidden Chamber. He came out in quite a rush, scattering feathers this way and that.
Did you immediately know it was Mr. Filch?
I did, and that's why I suggested we cook up our alibis together.
And how did those practice sessions go, huh?
They were nearly the death of me. Filchy has to be the worst student ever.
He really doesn't think he's done anything wrong, does he?
Well, Mr. Justice, do you consider this statement to be of any importance?
Is it important? I'm gonna say no. It's probably not particularly important. No, Your Honor. The witness may proceed.
All right, then. I would just like to add that it was a terribly grisly scene, as I have described.
I'm gonna have to go back and go through one of those other paths to see if something else is important. Anyway, I was there, but merely watching behind the screen. Okay, this is gonna... Yeah, it's gonna be something about that other one that we're gonna have to press on. Anyway, the mayor had been knocked out by a blow to the head. Could he really have opened the Forbidden Chamber in that state?
Well, it did seem difficult. He was all woozy and stumbling around as he opened it. It was such a heroic effort that I nearly started to cheer him on despite myself.
I think the mayor needed medical attention more than a cheerleader. You think he's telling the truth about being there in that room? Well, I believe he was there. The question is, when did he enter? You mean, did he enter after Jinxie fled? Or was he there before the murder? If it's the latter, that would change everything. Right. If he was there before the murder, that would make him a suspect. But how do we go about proving that? Well, I guess we ask him about what happened there. Anyway, let's press him and see what kind of info we can extract from him. Let's cross our fingers that he says or reveals something incriminating. Alright, let's go back to that one statement where we got to elaborate. This one.
Hold it!
Then we're having him elaborate about a different part that's not the feathers and crime. The feathers and shit. Let's talk about the chamber itself. Could you please describe the Forbidden Chamber at the time?
It was shut tight until the mayor opened it.
He's really trying to stress that it was the mayor who opened the Forbidden Chamber. That big liar, he opened it himself. Whoa, whoa, whoa. If looks could kill, LaBelle would be toast.
Well, Mr. Justice, do you consider this statement to be of any importance?
I might say yes, because I don't think he could have opened it. I have a feeling it is. Let's add it to the testimony just in case. Forbidden Chamber was shut tight until the mayor opened it. Let's press on that one. You're lying about the mayor opening the Forbidden Chamber, aren't you?
In a sense, yes. It could be seen as a lie.
Wait, so you admit it?
In this world riddled with deceit, my beauty is the only self-evident truth. That is to say, all else except me is but fiction and lies.
The nerve of this guy. His testimony is riddled with lies. Looks like I won't be getting anything useful out of this statement. Ah, shit, really? I must have picked the wrong one. Well, let's go back to this and press again and get info about the weapon this time and talk about that this time. Could you describe the state of the weapons that had been used at the scene?
The spear had been thrust all the way through Alderman Cuby. Then there was that statue the alderman used to bludgeon Mayor Tenma. That incredibly inspiring symbol had fallen to the floor.
Oh, right, the statue. But why would he find it inspiring? Why exactly did you find the statue inspiring?
Well, when I saw that statue, I felt as if the murder had been realized. It was like a celebration of union between town and village, an inspiring symbol of goodwill.
A broken statue next to a bloody corpse? Real inspiring. Well, I'm just going to have him add it. Yeah, I'm going to say yeah. Yeah. I believe that to be extremely important. I request it to be added to the testimony. Alright, let's press on that one now. Statue had fallen to the floor. It was a token of goodwill celebrating the municipal merger. Press.
Hold it!
A token of goodwill. Are you referring to the fox and the demon statue?
Yes, the statue the alderman allegedly used to strike back at Mayor Tenma. The mayor trampled down municipal goodwill only to be clobbered by its symbol. It's quite ironic, don't you think?
And that's when the symbol of goodwill was transformed into a symbol of conflict. Okay. Do I want to go back to... Oh, I see. He got rid of the other one and overrode it with this one. So, a statue had fallen to the floor. It was a token of goodwill celebrating the municipal merger. Okay. This might be where I have to press something or present something. Do I just present the statue itself? Wait. 100%. Read that first, or that second sentence, rather. Jinxie is now the only one who knows what it originally looked like. There you go. How could this douchebag know anything about it? Just saying. 100%. There you go.
Objection!
Your lies have finally betrayed you, Mr. LaBelle.
What possibly could you mean?
You said this statue was like a celebration of union between town and village? Isn't that correct?
It is indeed, but what of it? The two yokai are joining hands in goodwill. As if they were celebrating the municipal merger.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah?
Something the matter?
So, how did you really know that this statue was meant to be a symbol of goodwill again?
What?
Justice Dono, explain yourself and make it quick.
The statue was meant to symbolize goodwill in its original form, but that was a secret.
A secret? Whatever do you mean?
What I mean is that it broke when someone used it to strike Mayor Tenma on the head. That's what I mean, sucker. What's left clearly makes it look like the two yokai are battling it out. The statue's secret and its true form were lost inside that locked room. For Ms. Tenma is the only living soul who should know what it once looked like. So, Mr. LaBelle, where could you have possibly seen the statue in its original form, huh, bitch? Huh?
What do you mean, where?
The only possible answer is this. You saw the statue in its original form? Right there in the room where the alderman was murdered before it was broken.
How dare you! Mr. Justice, are you accusing the witness with some sort of crime?
Yes, I am. Florent LaBelle, I accuse you of the murder of Alderman Rex Kyubi. Yeah, bitch. We're getting there. We're getting there.
Order, order! Mr. LaBelle, you've been accused of murder. Do you have anything to say in your defense? How could you possibly accuse me, the embodiment of beauty?
Way to go, Apollo. This is the conclusive evidence we needed. Magnifico!
We got you now, bitch. We know you killed the alderman, and now admit it. Admit it.
Silence.
Oh, here we go. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing, boy. You ain't got nothing. Enough of your silly games, Justice Dono. This prancing peacock could not possibly be the killer.
Objection!
What are you talking about? His alibi has already crumbled to dust. And I just proved that he was in the Fox chamber while it was still locked tight.
Silence.
Why could he not have seen the statue in its true form before the murder? After all, he was close friends with the alderman. Ergo...
Yes, that's right. I clearly remember it now. Alderman Kyubi told me about it. About what the statue actually looked like. I mean, he was a good friend of mine.
Was he though? Was he though? Yeah, right. He wouldn't show you a secret gift just like that.
Silence.
Moreover, it has already been proven that he was not present at the scene of the crime. It has? Forgotten, have we? Recall the little scamp's statement, if you will. When Jinxie Tenma unlocked the Fox chamber, she saw the alderman and the mayor collapsed therein, and no one else. Oh, dang it. The fact is, it was you two who made that apparent in yesterday's court session. Thus, Florent LaBelle could not possibly have been in that locked room. Ugh! No! Ah! We still got to get to the part where he was impersonating the mayor, and that's where it really is going to come down to. We're going to come down to it. I just don't get it. How could Jinxie not have seen LaBelle? The proof is incontrovertible. No room for debate exists. Am I not right, your baldness?
It does seem awfully conclusive. The facts point to the defendant and victim being the only people in that locked room. Moreover, the defendant has already confessed.
Objection!
Nah.
Silence.
What? You can't silence my objection before I say something, bitch? You cannot defend the indefensible. Your role in this charade is over, Justice Dono. But your baldness. This trial would last an eternity if we were to keep crossing blades with these simpletons. It is high time you brought down the hammer of justice.
A point well made. I believe it's time to declare your
No, it's not. Dude, it is not time. You can't just ignore everything we just did and just be like, nah, we're good. We're good. We already got a verdict. You can't just ignore me. Wow. Really? Really? How could you even... That's so dumb. They would just ignore everything and be like, yeah, okay, he's guilty. Everything we just talked about, completely pointless. He's guilty.
This court defines the defendant Damien Tenma.
Hold it, you motherfudgers.
Yep, there we go.